My father is what people call new money. He arrived in Velmorne with my mother in the early 1990s and established his foothold in drug trafficking. I remember my mother mentioning on more than one occasion how Daddy was too busy for us because he was out there making money. Now, people with new money tend to go overboard with displays of their wealth. Luxury clothes, flashy interiors, fast cars. It's like holding up a neon sign at a traffic-clogged intersection yelling, "Look at me, I am rich." My father was one of those people. You'd see that if you walked into our home. It felt like an interior designer threw up in here and then threw up again in gold. From the dripping chandeliers to the 18-seater dining table, everything carried the color gold. It would make the journey from my room to the dining area blinding. I skipped down the stairs in a pair of dark pants and a black top. These clothes made me appear thinner, and after obsessing over the small bulge in my stomach for 15 minutes in the mirror today, I needed it. I had braided my hair into a bun and applied a little bit of makeup to appear presentable. The dining table was empty when I sat down to eat. Our chef, Adrian, appeared out of thin air and placed my breakfast, a bland-looking omelet and some yogurt, in front of me. Nothing unusual about it. Breakfasts and lunches were usually solitary for me. But my attention was caught by the hints of conversation creeping in through the bay windows. "Is my father still home, Adrian?" "Yes, Mississippi," he replied, expressionless as ever. "He has company." Without giving me a chance to ask further questions, he quietly slipped away. I focused on my breakfast, wondering what kind of company had my father staying at home instead of his precious office. My answer arrived a couple of hours later. I was engrossed in a romance book in my balcony when one of the maids knocked and popped her head in. "Mr. Castra has requested your presence downstairs in 15 minutes.
Huh.
And he has asked that you put on a nice dress before coming down." I didn't have time to appreciate her use of asked instead of ordered. It was at this moment that my heart began to thud. I rummaged through my dresses and pulled out a fit-in flare turquoise dress. My hands shook when I touched up my makeup and redid my hair. Wringing my hands together, I began walking down the staircase. Father found me at the bottom and grabbed my arm in a manner so sudden that I had to take a step back. "Listen very carefully to me," he whispered. The frantic look in his eyes was scaring me. "I have managed to secure a very good match for you. He is waiting beyond that door, in the guest study. You are going to go in, talk to him, and prove to him that you can be good wife." "Who is Dash?" "Not a single word, Leyla. If it were up to me, I would walk you down the aisle right away. But for some godforsaken reason, he wants to speak with you first." "But Father Dash..." "Listen to me," he shook me hard. "I can't have you living here unmarried forever and be used again as a weakness against me. I don't care if you have to bend over or kiss his damn feet to make this happen. He is giving me a very good deal, so you go in there and come out an engaged woman." My eyes teared up at his vile words. This was a man saying this to his own daughter, his flesh and blood. "Go on." He pushed me towards the study, and I wiped my tears. I knew this was coming. I did. But it still seemed so sudden. Nothing could have prepared me for the dread that settled into my stomach as I began walking toward the study. Father's words looped over and over in my head at an alarming rate. Before I entered the study, I took a moment to collect myself. My stomach lurched, and the possibility of throwing up right before the man I was supposed to spend the rest of my life with edged even closer. I fought a silent battle outside that door. On one hand, I could suck it up and play house with a strange man for the rest of my life. On the other, I could defy him to the point of refusing the deal and invoke Father's wrath until he will finally marry me off to the 60-year-old Benny Santos, who has been after me for years. I was losing either way. And God, how much I hated that feeling. How much I hated feeling caged with no choice, no respect, and no one by my side. I didn't know what I was going to do. So, I simply took a breath and twisted the handle, stepping into an event that could change the course of my life. But when I saw the man, who stood casually by the tall windows, draped in a custom-fitted dark suit, my heart fell through my chest.